Welcome back to the Universal Amphitheater in Los Angeles, where the 8th annual MTV Video Music Awards show is about 20 minutes away. With me right now is LL Cool J, who's not wearing that suit you bought with Cindy the other day. She got Awful Carnal Knowledge, which debuted on the Billboard chart at #1. The band is out on tour right now and will, of course, be playing here tonight on the Video Music Awards show. Born in the Netherlands, the Van Halen brothers, Eddie and Alex, are the sons of a jazz musician who moved them to California at an early age and encouraged their classical music pursuits. Rock beckoned early on, however, and after Eddie and Alex switched instruments, they recruited bassist Michael Anthony and singer David Lee Roth, and eventually caught the attention of Kiss bassist Gene Simmons, who sponsored a demo tape by the fledgling group. Van Halen's 1978 debut album established Eddie as perhaps the most innovative guitarist since Jimi Hendrix, and singer Roth as a world-class clown. The group scored its first #1 hit with Jump in 1984, and soon thereafter replaced Roth with another singer, metal veteran Sammy Hagar. Although fans of the original lineup may have had their doubts, this version of Van Halen has proved to be the most popular yet, topping the charts with its first 2 albums and debuting at #1 with its latest, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Hey, Sammy, what's Pound Cake about? What's the story behind Pound Cake?
Can you say this on TV?
Sure.
Well, really, in all honesty, Pound Cake is about, I'm trying to make it serious because everyone, the obvious one is obvious. But it's really just about a woman that's not trying to be anything else and not trying to compete with a man. And this isn't chauvinistic because men have their problems too, But it's like, to me, there shouldn't be a competition. A woman's a woman, a man is a man. They're both equal and should be treated equal. But a lot of women are, trying to be this or trying to do that. A lot of men are trying to do this, trying to do that. So the type of woman I personally like, because the type of man I am, is a woman that is just kind of down home and cool, like Betsy. But to make a long story short, that's what Pound Cake's about. It's just about my kind of woman. I just nicknamed it Pound Cake, which is plain, simple. You know what you got. You know what it is. There's, not too many secrets to it. It ain't covered up with a bunch of stuff. It's like, you get this crepe Suzette, right? So you're finally going, wait a minute, is this strawberry? What is it? You got to eat 400, and pretty soon you go, man, this is a pancake, with some sour cream in it, So I like to know what I'm eating.
Very well put.
Yeah. Edit that down, will you, to that.
Is it unusually hard to be a singer in a band where you have somebody like Eddie, who's also a focal point? I mean, you have to, sing above him or
I've been doing that my whole life, Before I was in competition with myself. And that's really tough. No, it's a pleasure. To me, it's like, I don't have to worry about a certain thing with a guy like Eddie. You go, this is going to be taken care of and done right. You're not going to have to be listening to the guy who's band, when Alex is playing drums, I don't have to worry about what Alex is playing. I don't. So now I can just hone down on my singing and my lyrics and make sure that it's as good as I can do, and I don't have to be distracted by anything else. That's the greatest thing about this band, for me, as just as saying, if I hone down what my craft is, this band allows me to do that.
I had heard at the time when you joined the group, you were doing so well on your own as a solo act that you were worried about maybe having to take a pay cut to do this.
Well, I did. This splitting 4-way stuff doesn't get it. Let me tell you something, man. I only had to be a quarter as big. We got to sell 5 million records for me to break even, okay?
It's a constant struggle for you.
Yeah, it is, I'm having a hard time paying the rent. I had to put my wife out of work.
When did you first become aware that there was this band, Van Halen?
Oh, from the first album. I mean, I was a guitarist before this, so obviously when Eddie hit the scene, I was going, hey, who's this Joe? I'll kill him. So I bought every Van Halen record.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I wasn't crazy about the band. I always liked certain things, but I always liked Eddie's little intro things and all that. And I was a fan, I'm serious. And until I joined the band, honestly, I didn't realize how important Alex and Michael were, and starting with Michael with his voice for the harmonies. He is the background vocal sound in Van Halen. Like it or not, it's Michael. If you don't like it, it's Michael. If you like it, well, it's me.
says that the secret ingredient of Van Halen is your vocals.
Is my vocals?
He says you are the vocal sound. Because the group has interesting vocals. And
Yeah,
I don't think
well,
people mention it.
you know, Sammy, he sings a lot of interesting things, which lends itself a lot of times to some really interesting harmonies. And plus, with his range, a lot of times I'm like doing this after a few takes in the studio, you know.
Do you ever sit down and listen to the records? I mean, like from the old days, like the first one, and notice like how we've improved? Or
sometimes I'll do a lot of times when people come over, friends come over, and they'll all be going. A lot of times they want to listen to our old albums. Someone will suggest, they'll go, "Hey, Mike, let's listen to your first album, or your second album, or let's watch your first video that you guys ever did." And that's when I really go, "Oh my God!" But you know, and this.
Why do you say that? Was it a bad video?
Well, because, you know, back then I remember doing our first video of You Really Got Me. I think we did it over at the Whiskey out in Hollywood. And Ed and I, you know, we're playing, we're doing all this stuff. And then after the solo kicks in, we're all going, you know, and it's like, oh, I could do that? Oh, jeez. It must have been the alcohol. No, I'm just kidding. But, no, every now and then I put on one of our, you know, I'll play the first album or the second album.
Yeah.
I'll put, you know, the second album on, or Fair Warning, which is one of my favorite albums of the old band era. Whatever, you know, turn it up real loud so it upsets my wife, and then I sit back and just go, yeah.
Is it different playing in a band with two brothers in it than it is playing in another band? Do you suppose?
Oh yes, breaking up, you're like this. Oh, Ed, Al, come on. When I first joined the band, I'd be rolling around like this after we'd play a high school, going, "No, you should have played that." And 5 minutes later, they're kissing and hugging and making up. You know? That's the difference between playing with brothers.
I mean, musically, do they seem to have a special communication?
Oh yeah, they do. They think alike. They're into a lot of their musical tastes are basically the same, and I mean, they probably play as well together as any two musicians ever could. And sometimes it's kind of like I'm going, "Get my foot in the door here so I can add out," you know, and get my 2 cents in. But it's great though, and you know, and on the other hand, they are brothers, so you got that human element of it. But as far as musicians go, I mean, I've never met any two brothers or two musicians in a band, so that's just locked in just like that.
Are bass players born as opposed to made? I mean, you have to be born a bass player. You're not just a failed guitarist, you're a bass player.
Right. I think you have to be born, because you're either born a bass player or you're a failed guitarist trying to play guitar on a bass. I don't know. Plus the fact that when I first started playing, everybody wanted to play guitar, you know. And
a bass player can be a popular guy.
I said, yeah, you know, I didn't have very many problems finding bands in the early days to play with, you know. The problem was keeping the guitars from flaking out, you know, if you're going from one band to the other. But I don't know, it's just, you know, I like being part of the foundation. It's just as important just to have a groove being locked in there, you know. And when I get up there on stage and I got all this stuff blowing behind me and I'm sitting there right on that one note and everything's shaking and my fillings are getting ready to fall out, I'm going, yeah, I like it. I like playing this instrument.
Do you have to carry this thing